All right, let's get started. I think we have almost everyone in here now, so we can go ahead and get started. So I'll just start by introducing myself. My name is Shauna, and I am the Business Development Manager for Inspection Express, and I'm located here in Orlando, Florida. However, I work with the whole United States. So it doesn't matter where you're located. Feel free to reach out to me afterwards.
Awesome. My name is James. I'm a senior account executive at Rentvine, and I'm also in Florida in the Tampa Bay area. So keeping it nice and Florida people today. So keep it fun and loose. I primarily specialize in working with people that live in the southern United States and East Coast, but I do work with people all over the country as well. So I can always answer different regulations for different states if you guys have questions as it relates to that stuff as well.
Nice. I love it. Well, how about we start off by if you could just tell us what is Rentvine and kind of like an overall overview of the company, that would be great.
Yeah, great question. So Rentvine in and of itself is a full service property management software. So we help facilitate the beginning of the process of intaking owners, doing all the application, leasing, screening through the e-signature process of getting someone moved into a property. We handle all the trust accounting aspects, so making sure that we're keeping your money separate from your owner's money, separate from the tenant's money, so that everything is kept in accordance with all the state regulations and laws. We are compliant in all 50 states for that. And then all the way through the maintenance process, communication's a big deal, being able to communicate to all your tenants, and then through the financial reports and any kind of other reporting that you would need from the property management business.
Nice. Nice. That's awesome. So what would you say are like the two biggest challenges that maybe Rentvine can help property managers?
Yeah, so I think the two biggest challenges that we see across the board from property management companies is the accounting is probably number one, which is the biggest thing, the trust accounting piece. Our system is very intuitive, easy to use. I had someone explain it to me once that Rentvine is an accounting system that was built for property managers, not for accountants, but it does everything that the accountants will need as well. And then the other big thing is maintenance, which we definitely are going to spend some time today talking about inspections and the maintenance side of thing. And that's the other thing that we hear often from property managers that they struggle with.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. So, since we're both here, Inspection Express and Rentvine, and we're partners, can you tell us maybe a little bit about the integration between Inspection Express and Rentvine and how it works?
Yeah, so Inspection Express, I've been very impressed with you guys. Kelly, who lives out in Australia, actually she followed me around for about a couple years before when the integration happened. I was really impressed with her there, and I'm very impressed with the software. So Inspection Express handles all of the inspection side of things, and we're going to do a demo, or well, not we, Shauna will do a good demo of that for everyone. But the integration is really cool. So you can create inspections inside of Rentvine and select scheduled dates for those. That information will feed directly into Inspection Express. From there, you can do the inspection, complete everything. Once that's completed, you'll be able to create work orders out of your inspection, which will automatically put them inside of Rentvine for you to follow up with. And then those inspection reports will also come back into Rentvine, and then it will update the inspection status for you to being marked as done. So really a perfect kind of just overlap. You don't have to deduplicate any work. Everything just works together as you're going through the inspection process.
One-stop shop. I love it. Do you want to share your screen and kind of show how that works a little bit, just so they have an
Yeah.
idea? And by the way, who in here is using Rentvine? If you can just pop in the chat if you're using Rentvine or not, that would be great. And then go ahead, Jake.
Yep, I have the screen share, then it went away.
There it
You see it
is.
there?
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. So this is Rentvine right here. So when we're doing an inspection creation on this lower left-hand side, you're going to see the maintenance tab where all the maintenance processes live. If I go to inspections right here, I can do new inspection in the system. I can pick the unit that I want to do the inspection on, the type of inspection that we're going to do. I can leave a description, and then I can schedule the date for that inspection right here. And all I got to do is hit create at this point, and then that's going to go straight into Inspection Express. And then if I go back to that inspections tab here, I can see all the inspections. I can filter this menu out if I need to. And then I'm going to pass it here to Sean in a second, but over here in that admin portal, you'll see the inspection come into the system, and you can confirm that and then begin that process of the inspection. And that's where, Sean, I'll pass it over to you to take over.
Yeah, of course. So I will now share my screen so you guys can see. I will basically be giving you guys a quick demo on Inspection Express and the way that it works and a few cool gems that we have here. So can you see my screen, James?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, awesome. So Inspection Express is an app on your phone, and once you open it up, this would be your landing page, which is your portfolio here on the left-hand side. So now if you are using Rentvine, the way that that integration works is that all of your properties that you have on Rentvine will automatically sync with us. So they would already be right here on the right-hand side. The cool thing is it'll also pop up the amount of bedrooms. If you do have current tenants and that kind of thing will also be automated. Now, as James just showed you, you would actually schedule your inspections in Rentvine. However, you can still schedule them into Inspection Express as well if you prefer. But if you do use Rentvine, now on that second tab that you see here, this is where the inspections would pop up. So you can see any of the inspections that you have today, any upcoming inspections, all of your finalized reports. And there are a few cool hidden gems here. So if today I'm heading out to these two properties, I can actually press on that routes button here. I can choose a starting point. I can even choose an ending point if I'd like to. And the system will automatically show me the directions and how long it'll take to get to those properties. Now, you also have a key symbol here. If I press on it, this is where you would see any of your access instructions for those properties. So if you have any images of the keys, key numbers, access instructions, again, the system will pull that information directly from Rentvine, which is pretty cool. So you can just make sure that you're ready for the day when you're heading out. What I will do now is I will actually hop into this inspection here, which is an example of a move-in inspection. Once you open that up, you'll have your template here on the left-hand side. This is customizable, so you can delete any rooms if you'd like to. Super easy to do. You can add any rooms as well, and you can also create your own templates. So you're able to do that. And then on the right-hand side is where you would start your inspection. Now, oops, sorry, here, Siri is talking to me. If you see the 360 little world globe button here, I will press on it. Basically, what we specialize in is pairing up with this camera here that I have behind me. It's an Insta360. You place it in the middle of the room. One photo takes about 4 seconds to take a photo. You get a full 360 image. You can zoom in if you'd like to, but I always advise that if there's certain things that you really want to highlight, you can go ahead and snap any close-up photos. That way you have a clear image of that. And it's super easy to do. I'll just show you. So if I want to write any condition, I can actually just pinpoint at the area that I want to highlight, press on the condition here at the bottom. This is based on your template. I'll put blinds and curtains, and it'll take me straight to that photo. So I'm able to take photos. I can take up to 30-second videos as well. And once I dismiss, that will get embedded into your 360, which is pretty cool because you basically get a geotag, location of where things are located and where you're having issues. Now, the same thing works with maintenance. So let's say I'm in the kitchen now. Same thing. I've placed a tripod in the middle of the room. One photo, I've got a full 360. Let's say I need to report some maintenance on the sink, for example. I can just pinpoint, press on that second tab here that says maintenance. In this case, it would be the sink. I can put a title, so I'll just say that the sink is leaking. So you guys can see an example. Again, I can take any photos here. So I can take a photo, boom. I can take videos as well. This would be a good time to take a photo if you have a leak. Once you're done, that also gets geotagged into that 360. Now, as when I press done, you can also see here that I have a little one under maintenance. And this is where you can see all of your maintenance that you've reported. Now, they will always pop up as a draft at first. That way you have a chance to review them before you have them imported into that PDF report and into a work order into Rentvine. So once you complete that and you finalize your report, This is where all of your maintenance item will be reported into Rentvine as a work order, which is pretty cool for an integration. Now, really exciting part about our software is we actually have AI generated comments. So if you see that little purple magic wand here, if I press on it, so once I've gone through the home and I've taken all of my 360 photos, any close-ups, I would just confirm here that I want to generate the comments, and you'll start seeing at the bottom that comments are being generated, which means that all of these empty boxes that you see here, anything that is visible, it will be written down through the AI. And the way the AI works is literally conditions, visible conditions. So scratches, dents, if you have holes, if you need painting, those kind of things. If things are in good conditions, the AI will also highlight it, which is pretty cool. And as you can see here on the screen, that comments are being generated pretty fast. So it takes from like 30 seconds to a minute to basically generate a full report. And I'll show you an example of those comments. So for example, here, just so you can see the picture again, this was the kitchen, and these are the comments that were just reported from the AI. So for example here, single white painted timber door with silver lever handle, door surface shows minor marks and scuffs, door edges are intact with no visible damages. So it's pretty detailed, as you can see. If things are in good condition, it will highlight that as well. So white painted plaster walls in good condition with no noticeable marks or damage. Same thing here, for example, this one had a lot of damage, and the AI has literally written down everything that it sees. It's very detailed, where it will actually pick up serial numbers and even brand names if they are visible or if you take photos of them. So once you're done with that, you would move on to that tenant section, which again, if you are using Rentvine, this information will automatically be put into here with tenant's name and email address. This is basically so that you can send out this report to the tenant and they have a chance to review your inspection, and they can agree or disagree. If they disagree, we do have it set so that they have to provide photos and comments, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. Next tab is the key form. So this is where you would place a photo of the keys. On our PDF report, there's also a little acknowledgement that we have for the tenant to sign. It just states that they've received these keys from you and they have to return them, and so on. Next really cool gem that we have here is an agent video. This is optional. You don't have to do it, but if you do, it adds a personalized touch to your inspections. You basically have up to a minute to speak to the landlord or the owner, and you can just maybe guide them through the inspection or anything that you'd like to maybe highlight from your inspection, and they're basically able to see that before they dig into the report and the virtual tour. And then again, all of the maintenance will be here and the 360 photos. So once you're done with that, I will show you what a finalized PDF report looks like. So once you finalize your inspection, this is the way that the landlord or owner would receive your inspection. So they just receive a link. They don't need login information. They don't need the app, literally just Safari, Google Chrome, doesn't matter. They just open it up and they can either press start, where they're able to now virtually walk through their property. And they can also see any comments that have been made here on the right-hand side. They can see any close-up photos that you've taken, and so on. This is a really cool feature because owners are now able to actually see what's going on at their property, and they're able to again pinpoint anything that's going on. Now, if I refresh this page, I will press on that PDF report that you see here. Again, once you finalize an inspection with us, you automatically get a PDF report of your inspection, and this is what it would look like. So you would have your logo here and all of your information. As I scroll down through here, you will see any party details and then your inspection, the agent section and tenant section. So on the left-hand side, this would be from all of the AI comments. Any comments that you've made or modified will be here. And then this is the tenant section. So again, if you want to send this out to the tenant, they have a chance to review your inspection and they can just agree or disagree. You can see, for example, on that first tab here that they've disagreed, so they had to provide photos and comments. And then all of those photos will always be put into the same page. So everything is always organized based on your template, and then you have that tenant section. So if I just kind of scroll through these, we don't need to see all of the comments, but I'll scroll through the photos. Once you get to the photo tab, you can always click or scan that QR code and it'll take you back to that 360 view. And then any close-up photos that you've taken within that 360 would be right under here again, organized based on your template. And then you can just scroll through, next section, 360, any close-ups, and so on. So I'll scroll through these images here. There's a lot of photos that we don't need to see. Scroll through. At the end here, you have part D, which is the signatures. So again, agent signature, and then the tenant signature, date and time stamped always. Any photos that the tenant has taken will be here. And there's your key form. So again, picture of the key that you've provided, date and time stamped, any notes that you need to make, and then this is our little acknowledgement, again, that just states that they've received the keys and they must return them at the end of a tenancy. Now moving on to the move out section, this is my favorite one personally because we actually provide you with a side-by-side view. So you have a move in here on the left-hand side, move out on the right-hand side, and this is the way that the landlord would receive it. So now you're at the end of a tenancy, you're conducting your move out, and you can actually spot the difference here. So you're able to move through that move out and see if there's any differences, any damages. You can see any comparison photos. Now I know some of you are probably wondering, how do you know where to place the tripod? Our software actually tells you where to place it. So once you're conducting a move out inspection, the software will ask you, do you want to pair it with your move-in inspection? You would press yes, and then it will draw a blue circle on the floor to show you exactly where to place the tripod. So it's super user-friendly, super easy to do. Whether you have different inspectors that are going out to these properties, even if it's yourself and you forgot where to place a tripod, the software will always make sure that you know where to place it. Now, with the move-out inspections, the AI works a bit differently than at the move-in. The AI will actually just focus on spotting any discrepancies from the move-in to the move-out. So instead of just writing all conditions on walls, if things are in good conditions, it'll just find any discrepancies and it'll write that down for you. So super easy to do as well. And I will refresh this page so that you guys can see the PDF report of the move-out. Really love this report because as you can see here, you have your move-in, here on the left-hand side. Again, agent section, tenant section, and then you have your move-out right here on the right-hand side. So everything is line by line, literally from move-in to tenant to move-out. Now, if there are any differences, for example, here, apparently there is a dent. I can actually press on that photo comparison and it'll take me to that area of the PDF. So it saves you a lot of time, super easy to maneuver through. Date and time stamp, so you can see the side-by-side comparison. This has saved a lot of money for property managers at the end of a tenancy. If you ever have to go to court and that kind of thing, this is kind of a software that can help you prevent those disputes if you have a tenant that is not complying or not agreeing with your statements, which is pretty cool. So that's the way that looks. And again, I'll kind of scroll through here so you can see. We also provide, so again, you can always click or scan this to go back to your 360. And then we also have, our software will also divide that 360 into 6 sections of still photos as well, which is pretty cool. So same thing, next room, you can press that 360 and you have your 6 sections. And then one of the last things of the cool gems, we have a lot of hidden gems here, but I didn't mention the summary agent video. So this is the way that it would pop up for an owner or landlord when they're receiving the inspection. If you do include that 1-minute video, this is the way that it would pop up. So again, the landlord now is able to just press that video, maybe, listen to anything that you have to say that's very important, and then they can, again, either go through that PDF or press that next button to virtually start. This is actually an example of an ongoing / routine inspection. So we do have a template for like property improvement recommendations, renewal recommendations, that kind of thing. And then again, they can just walk through that property. Now I do want to highlight that all of your inspections, you can actually convert them into marketing virtual tours. So if you do ever need to put a property back on the market or whatever the situation may be, you can actually just go here where it says virtual tour and you can just convert any of your inspections into virtual tours, which I've done with this one that I've showed you. So now this software has just eliminated any close-up photos, any comments, and you just simply have the photos. And this will be reported as a link, so you can just attach that link to any of your listings. Another cool thing that we do with that is we will actually record all of the data, meaning that if you have, you'll be able to see how many people clicked on the link, which room they spent most time on, and that kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Lastly, we also provide remote inspections. Let me see if I have one here. So a lot of PMs, what they do now is they will actually send out inspections to the tenant throughout the year. It's super easy to do. The same way that the landlord receives these is the same way that the tenant would. So they don't need the app, they don't need login information. They would just receive a link. You're able to set your own guidelines and timelines. So we do provide you with a template, but again, it's customizable. You can change it, you can import your own. It's totally up to you. But this is the way that it would look like. So you can change any of the layout that you'd like. You can make any requirements, which I love the requirements because it gives you a leadway on the tenant as to how they conduct the inspection. We have it said that, for example, if you say you want 4 photos from each corner of the room and some comments, if the tenant has only taken 3 and written down some comments, the system will block them from moving on to that next section. So again, you have a bit of a leadway on how your inspections are conducted. Again, you're able to set your own timeline. If you are using Rentvine, the tenant information would pop up here automatically as well, which is nice. You wouldn't have to fill that out. You can choose to send it immediately. You can send it in advance. Have it planned to send later on. You can have your deadline, and then our software will also send out reminders to the tenant automatically. Really cool thing as well that I love to mention. If the tenant is ever telling you that they've never received it, or whatever excuse they have, our software will actually tell you if the tenant has opened the email and the link. So you will have that proof as well to say, well, I've seen that on April 19th, you opened the email at this time. So pretty cool. So that is the way. That's a fast demo on how everything pretty much works. Again, I've just shown you like the main components of here. We do offer you a marketing kit landing page. So basically you would have your company logo, company colors, totally customizable. This is just if you're looking to grow and expand, you can basically use this one page as a tool. So you'll be able to put your own inspections that you've conducted, any virtual tours and so on, and it'll just show basically the level of service that you're providing for the landlords and owners. And you can actually use this page and put it on your website. So if you already have a website, you can actually use this and embed it straight into your website, which is pretty cool. Now, I know that your next question is probably, how do we get started? What's the cost? And so on. So we work as a monthly subscription. Now, the app is compatible with iOS device. So we do have a startup bundle where we provide you with the iPad, the Insta360 camera, the tripod, the memory card, the software setup, and then you'll also be guided through the entire setup process. So we help you with that as well, as much as you need, as long as you need. We're always there to help. So today we're actually doing a deal. If you're looking to sign up, where we will provide a half price camera and then the iPad for you for only $900. Now, if you don't need to get the iPad, you just need the camera, we're actually doing a half price camera pack for $275. And then the monthly subscription is dependent on the amount of properties that you have. But just to give you an idea, it ranges from 80 cents to about $1 per door. So again, if you're interested, feel free to shoot me an email, and then I can, just speak to you directly or set up a call, whatever is easier for you. I can also, if you guys are open to it, we do have a return of investment calculator, so you can kind of see based on the amount of properties that you have, if you need to start a bundle, how many inspections you conduct a year. I don't know if you guys are charging for inspections, but the market is going that way where now you're able to, because you're using these high-tech technologies. So again, these numbers are kind of based on our clients and what they're currently charging, but you can see that you can actually make some extra profit by using these types of inspection software. But that pretty much concludes everything on my end. I hope that wasn't too long and it was straight to the point. So I will just kind of, I don't know if James, if you have anything else to share, otherwise I'll just leave the floor open for any questions that anyone may have. we do have some questions here actually. Oh, we have a few Rentvine users, which is nice.
Shauna, I
Uh,
can't see the questions are not showing up on my side.
okay, I will just read them out to you.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why it's not showing anything.
Okay, so do you support other cameras like the Theta SC2? No, so we only work with the Insta360 camera, which is why we usually do like a startup bundle, or we can provide it to you at half price, depending on the amount of properties that you have. But unfortunately, that is the only camera that we use. We just found that uh, it's more affordable for most people, and then it's super easy to use and very small. As you can see, it's like smaller than my phone as well. Um, can I get a copy of this video? Yes, so anyone that is attending this webinar or has signed up for it, we will send you a copy of the webinar as soon as it's over. So you will receive that, and we will also follow up with all of you on our end. Um, is there an option for tenant-led mid-lease inspections? Yes, there are. I'm sure that you probably wrote this before I went into the tenant-led inspections, but yes, you're absolutely able to send those tenant-led inspections as much as you'd like. So the way our software works, you're actually able to have unlimited inspections. So if you need 100 inspections for one property, you can do that, no problem. Next question. We take photos of inside of cabinets and drawers when we do our move-in and move-out inspections. Are we able to change to manual photo taking for, say, the kitchen? Yeah, so what I actually usually recommend is you can take a 360 with the cabinets closed, and then you can go ahead and open all of your cabinets and take another 360. Or some people will just take it with everything closed, and then they'll just take manual photos of all the cabinets. That's totally up to you how you'd like to conduct it. Um, let's see if I have more questions here. How does the AI work again? The way the AI works is you're just pressing that button here on your inspections, just so you can see again. So there is a purple one button that you can press here. Once you press it, literally the system automatically just starts writing out the report based on anything that's visible. So all conditions, whether it's good or bad, scratches, dents, serial numbers, brand names, that kind of thing. My Siri is talking to me here. What is the battery life of the cameras? I would say about 12 hours or so. It just kind of depends. I think mine lasts about 12 hours. Obviously I don't turn it on all the time since I'm not the one conducting the inspections, but from the feedback we've gotten, it's about, 12 to 14 hours or so. Will the camera be effective in low, no light? Yes, the camera will be effective. Absolutely. We've had some people conduct where light bulbs were broken and it's kind of evening time and it still takes clear photos, which is great. How does the tenant inspection work? Would we send them a link and they use the same app? You would send them, so you would just schedule it you can actually schedule it through Rentvine or through us, and then they will just be sent an email with instructions and a link. They don't need to have the app or login information. It's just a link that they open up, and it'll just take them to their Safari or Google or whatever platform they're using, and they can just conduct that from their phone, any phone, whether it's Apple, Android, it doesn't matter. They're able to conduct those. Uh, does the camera require Wi-Fi? No. So the way it works is the camera and the app, they work as Bluetooth. So think of like AirPods, for example, or if you have a Bluetooth speaker, you're literally just using Bluetooth through each other from the app to the camera. So you don't actually need to have Wi-Fi at the property to use the software. Let's see. How long are reports and virtual tours saved online? So we save all of your reports into our data, and they also get saved into Rentvine. You're able to download those at any time, so they're always saved in there. So there's no chance of them being lost. And then you also receive a link of your inspections if you're conducting those virtual tours, and we save all of that into our cloud, so you'll have access to it at any time.
Those inspections as well, when they're saved into Rentvine automatically, they can go to your owner portal as well and live inside the owner portal forever for them to
Right.
access it.
Yeah, which is actually, I'm glad you highlight that. So on Rentvine, you can even, some people want their inspections to be sent right away to the owner. Some people don't. But if you do want, or even to the tenant, you actually have that option to have it automatically sent to the owner or the tenant as soon as you finalize it, which is pretty cool. Okay, regarding the battery life, I am more wondering about how many photos I can get through. Other cameras I have used have died after taking 20 to 30, 360 photos. Um, so honestly, I don't know exactly how many photos until the camera dies. It's more of like, honestly, to tell you the truth, I've had this camera for over a year and I've probably only charged it twice, just so you have an idea. And I run demos like all the time and I'll take like some photos here and there. So at least with my experience, it lasts pretty long. You shouldn't have any issues with that. Um, I think I've answered, let's see. Oh no, there's more. I'm loving all these questions. Is the training provided cost per person or one flat fee? No, so the training is provided for free. You can have as many users as you need in that call. If you need like any follow-ups, Q&A, or any further help, it's all provided as soon as you sign up with us. So there is no fee for that once you sign up with us. And then does any version of the Insta360 work? Yes. So any version from Insta360 X2, X3, X4, and I think they've just launched the X5. Again, if I am providing a camera for you, it would be the X4, which as of now is the best one. And then essentially it'll be the X5, but the photos that I was just showing you guys on these reports were actually taken with an X3. So the X4 has an even better quality than the pictures I was showing in this demo. Onboarding fee, is there an onboarding fee? So the only fee would be the camera. And then if you need to purchase an iPad, however, other than that, there are no fees. Again, you would just be provided with free training, and then once your billing starts, it would just be your subscription cost. So based on the amount of doors that you have. I don't know with Rentvine, do you guys have any onboarding fee or anything like that? How does it work?
Yeah, Rentvine does have a one-time setup fee, but we usually pass that back and credit off your monthly starting for that. So if anyone's here today, if you speak with anyone at Rentvine, you want to sign up, let them know that you attended the webinar, and we'll make sure you get taken care of for that.
Okay, cool. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I think I went through every question. I'll still leave it open for a few more, see if anyone else has other questions here. And then I'll just, if you can do the same as well, James, if you want to put your email in the chat box, just in case anyone wants to reach out right away, I will pop in my email here. Feel free to reach out. And like I said, we are running that half price off on the camera today, as well as a 10% off on your monthly subscription for a year. So please feel free to reach out right away if you're interested.
Hey, Shauna, could you put my email in the chat? It's just james@rentvine.com. I don't have access to be able to chat to anyone except for you.
There you go. I've just popped it in here.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem. No problem at all. Nice. I see we have some people from Tennessee, California, New Mexico, Myrtle Beach. I missed those earlier.
Hey,
Washington.
Tennessee people, if you're a real estate agent near Chattanooga, send me an email. We're looking at houses up there. So if you want to.
Yeah, there you
Not yet, but maybe later this year. So if you, I'm taking bids at the moment.
go. I'm sure someone in here can help. So please reach out to James.
Right?
Okay, got another question here. Where do the inspections load into Rentvine? So go ahead, James, you can answer that.
Yeah, so when the inspection is completed, the file that Shauna had showed with all the completed reports, everything like that, that gets sent to the owner, that saves to the property as an attachment. And on that property as an attachment, it's labeled with the date of the inspection that it was done. And from there, you can access it, view it. It will also update where our inspection system is in the software. It'll update that inspection to be completed and closed out when you've completed it and finalized.
Nice. Did you want to show that or you're good? Just wasn't sure.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's just going to go straight to the file section and you can just share. And
Okay.
that can go to the owner or to the tenant or both if you need to when you're sharing it through Rentvine.
Yep, love that. For that fee, how many reports can we generate? Also, will any iPad work? The monthly the monthly fee is actually for unlimited users and unlimited inspections. So if you, like I said, if you want to conduct 100 reports for one property, it will be the same price. We just charge by the amount of doors that you have. And oh, also, will any iPad work? Yes, so it has to be compatible. Basically, anything from like, I want to say from like 2010 and up will work. If you already have an iPad and you just want to double check with me so I can make sure that you have the right iOS version, we can do that as well after this call. But yeah, anything, I want to say anything from 2010 and up should work, which is great. Well, we have someone from Scottsdale, Arizona. Nice. Hi, I have family out there. Love it. More door, the cheaper the cost. Yes, yes, exactly. So the more doors you have, the cheaper your pricing will get. So like I said, it's between about $1 per door, and then it'll go all the way down to like 60 cents per door. Again, as you grow your portfolio, it'll just start going down, which is nice. How easy is it to make report templates? Yes, so can we make templates for common area items such as electrical, plumbing, mainly for our remote staff to easily identify certain building components? Yes, so it's super easy to make your own templates. We do have some templates where we have things for electrical and so on. We can even help you with those templates. So again, you can do it on your own if you'd like, or if you want to import your own templates, you can do so. But if you have specific requirements that you want us to do for you, our support person can easily add that into your templates as well. And then the cool thing is you're able to add any areas while you're at the property. So if you've missed anything, you're able to just add that right away while you're at the property as well. Are there any plans to develop compatibility with Android devices in the future? Yes, there are. So right now, just for the camera and the app is where it's only iOS compatible. But when it comes down to the tenant, the owner, anyone else, if you're sending out remote inspections, they don't need to have that because they wouldn't be using the app. They would just receive a link. So it doesn't matter if they have Android, iOS, it will be compatible. Now there are plans to develop compatibility for the app and the camera to be compatible with Android. It's actually in the works as we speak. So hopefully sometimes down the line, not too long, we'll be compatible with Android in terms of the app, but it is compatible with remote inspections and everything else. And then you can also access the admin portal on anything as well. Doesn't have to be the app or iOS device. Okay, I don't think I see any more questions here. I'll leave a few seconds because we're getting some good questions here. So if you have anything else, feel free to pop it in the question chat.
Shauna, are there questions that people tend to ask you on demos that you haven't seen asked today?
No, this is pretty much all the questions we usually get. Onboarding fee, starting cost, anything about maintenance, which camera it's compatible with. Those are all, I would say, pretty common questions that we get. Pretty common questions. Okay, I don't see any more on here. I'll still leave like another minute. If anyone is thinking of anything, feel free. And then I don't think I've missed any questions. Oh, someone said wait. I'm waiting. I won't I won't hang this up, I promise. We use Matterport and Z Inspector. Seems like we can combine those two into one software with a 360 AI package. Yes. So that is the great thing with the integration with Rentvine. you're actually able to just basically you're able to do everything on Rentvine. You would just be using us to conduct the inspections. But with Rentvine, you can schedule directly on there. Once you finalize your inspections with us, they report right away into Rentvine. If you do tag any maintenance into our app, it also gets reported back into Rentvine as a work order. So I like to say it's a one-stop shop, honestly, which is great. How do you sync inspections to automatically go into files Rentvine? You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is finalize the inspection once you're done, and it automatically syncs into Rentvine, right, James?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's no added step. It's just that, if you're using Rentvine and you're using us, we will just connect your API, which is super easy to do. It takes a few seconds. Once that's connected, everything syncs. Your properties, your inspections, your files. There's no extra buttons that you have to press, basically.
And the tenant contact information for those reports.
Yes. Lisa, are you currently using Rentvine? Okay, next question. Does Inspection Express have API or Zapier connection where we can build further automation? I don't believe so, but I'm not sure, so I don't want to give you the wrong answer. So I can definitely make sure I ask and get that right answer for you, and I can email you after this as well. Are features in Rentvine at a price or levels? Are all features included in the subscription? Cost to unlock features?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we don't do any sort of tier packages. So for our subscription cost per month, you get every feature and functionality in the software. So it doesn't matter if you manage a small portfolio or you have a larger company, you get access to everything.
Nice. We love that. Access to
Makes
everything.
my job a lot easier. I don't have to. We can just.
That's what we're here for, to make you guys' life easier, honestly. Um, can we capture HVAC filter sizes in the report? So yes, again, this is something that you could add into your templates. And then we actually have a measuring tool when you're taking photos as well. So you would be able to measure those filters as well. Now, the good thing with us and the AI is that it's only expanding from here. So the AI is already super detailed, it's very fast, and it's great. But as we keep expanding, we're looking into potentially having the AI being able to say how much something would cost if it's damaged, that kind of thing. So like I said, it can only get better with the AI, which is already pretty good, but we're just only pretty much heading up from there. We actually are in the works of being able to create 3D floor plans from your virtual tours as well. So that's something that we're working on right now too. Okay. Thank you guys for asking all these questions. By the way, I'm sure this is helpful for a lot of you in here. So feel free to keep popping those questions in there.
Thanks for reading them out, Shauna. That's a lot of a lot of work.
Of course. I have to read them out anyway, so everyone knows what I'm answering to, so it's all good. No worries. Okay. And by the way, if you guys have not signed up and you're interested, there is a Rentvine conference, right, James? Next month. I believe it's on May 23rd.
You're gonna put me on the spot here, and I should know this date off by heart. It's the 21st to the 20th.
Yeah, I think it's a May 23rd or so in Tampa. They are having a conference. So if you guys are
Yes.
interested, feel free to reach out to James about that as well. And I will be there too with my booth. So if you are coming, feel free to come see me as well. More than happy to talk further.
Yes, the user conference is the 21st through the 23rd in Tampa next month. If you're a Rentvine customer and you haven't signed up, I would encourage you to do that. Our hotel room blocks due in today, so this is the last day that you can do that. If you guys go outside that date, our team will do their best to try to help you with hotels, but we can't make any promises. If you're on this call and you would like a discount code, please reach out to James at rentvine.com and I can help you out with that as well.
Nice. Perfect day for a webinar, you see? I didn't even know it was the last day to sign up for that. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And I will also be at that event. So if you would like to, I don't know
Good.
where I'll be. I'll probably be wandering around helping out as much as I can.
I'm sure. Do we have any other questions? Don't see any more popping up here. But again, if anyone is interested in getting this deal today, please reach out to me right away, and we can get you started. And just FYI, if you do want to get started, all we do on our end is basically send you a quote with the agreement that you just have to accept, and then an implementation form where you're basically just filling out the email addresses of the users, the admin users, your logo, and then if you are using Rentvine, the things that we need from you so that we can make that integration happen. And that's pretty much it. And then after that, our support person reaches out to you to schedule your first onboarding call, which includes your training. So it's a pretty easy process. If you need a camera, I would ship that out to you right away today as well. James, can you repeat your email? Thanks.
It's James at rentvine.com. Shauna, could you put that in the chat as well?
Yeah, I put in the chat. I'll re-put it again. But if you guys, I don't know if you can see on your end, the chat box, you have my email and James' email in there. Let me know, Giovanni is who asked for your email. Let me know if you heard that or if you're able to see it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll make sure that James reaches out to you right away. Okay. Okay, got it. Giovanni said, got it. Awesome. Do you guys have any other questions? I'll leave this last minute here. If anyone else wants to add anything or ask anything, please feel free to do so. And if anyone wants us to reach out literally right after this call, feel free to pop that in the chat as well, so we can take note of it and we'll reach out to you right away. And if anyone needs any further details, again, from me or James, we're always open to, demoing the product. James can demo the full product for you as well and give you more information. If you're not ready to commit just now, again, feel free to reach out. Americo said, great job, thank you. Thank you for attending. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that it was informative. And that we didn't miss anything. Thank you both from Lynn. Thank you for attending. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I know property management is an incredibly busy industry, and giving time out of your day to something like this is not an easy decision to make. So we appreciate that, and hopefully got a lot out of this, and we can help you in the future.
Yes, and that is our goal here as well, just making your life easier. And at least I can speak for Inspection Express. We're trying to drastically reduce that time that you're spending doing those annoying inspections, because let's face it, no one likes to conduct inspections. So with the AI and the 360, we try to drastically reduce that amount of time that you're spending doing those, and essentially getting time back in your weeks. And just so you guys have an idea too, I just looked at one of our clients recently, and they conducted a 3-bedroom, 2-bath move-in inspection in 9 minutes and 59 seconds just recently. So just so that you guys have an idea a bit of how long it takes. Some people are really used to it, so they'll do it really fast. Some people might take a bit longer because they're taking more close-up photos, but essentially Just look at it as you're just taking one photo per room, literally with this tripod, and then you're pressing that AI comment, which you don't even have to do at the property. You can always do it back home as well, because everything syncs automatically and gets saved right away, which is great. But yeah, so that is it on my end. I don't think we have any more questions. Again, if we missed any questions or you guys want more information, feel free to reach out to us. And we'll be more than happy to assist you. But thank you, James, for being here as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Shauna.
Yeah, of course. So with that being said, I will end this webinar now. We'll be sending this recording to all of you and reaching out. Thank you for joining and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.